How you doing, trucking fans? Another good day with Deviator on the road. Today we're talking about getting paid. Stay tuned, it's gonna be a good show. Well, we're about 8:30 Eastern time. Going down 77. Gonna get on 64 and hop on across to Virginia. Left out of Lockbourne with a little bit of snow flying, and everybody decided to slow up and drive like Grandma Moses. Like I said earlier, no diapers are worth killing myself over, so ain't no biggie. We'll get there, we'll get her done. Hey, become a subscriber today. Keep getting notifications about new videos. Be sure and like and share the videos. Let everybody else know I'm out here. Tuned up Freight Waves, it's a good place to go. It's where I go commonly for a lot of legal opinions. Anyway, looked at one recently that talks about the old AB5 discussion out of California. It's talking about independent contractors versus employees. I'll put the link up once I put the video up. You might well look into it if you're a truck driver, whether you work for Landstar or whether you're on your own as an owner-operator. Probably worth looking into because a lot of discussion is coming up. With the new administration in, there's no telling what direction this is going to go in. So the question is, are you better off as an owner-operator, or are you better off as an employee? So today's discussion is the argument over whether or not certain responsibilities give you a status of independent contractor or employee. The whole reason I bring this up is because of this whole AB5 litigation in California. It's come up again in the news in one of the articles in Freight Waves that I pulled up over the weekend. Has in it that they came down with a little bit of a clarification. There's a couple of petitioners to, I guess, a court lawsuit or what have you, that wanted a clarification as to what the difference was. Now, whatever argument, and I didn't see the specifics on the argument, but whatever the argument was leaning more toward the independent contractor side of said argument than it was for the employees. So what's the difference between an independent contractor and an employee? Well, simply put, is you're paid differently. What's the difference between an independent contractor and employee? Well, for purposes of transportation, it's a very stark difference. That being how you're paid. Say you deliver goods using a straight truck, box truck, within, say, 40 or 50 miles of whatever business you work. As a business owner, you can afford to pay your drivers an hourly rate or a mileage rate, or however you determine your pay structure for whatever said job is. You offer benefits, you give different pay incentives to keep people on, whatever. As an employee, your role is pretty much clearly defined ahead of time. As an employee, you have very little say-so other than just clock in and out. As an independent contractor, however, you've got a little bit more possibility. You can come and go as you please. You can choose to work whatever hours you want. You can choose to go wherever you want. You have more say-so in your routes. Probably a very large area in which you cover. Now, right now, I'm an independent contractor because I work for Landstar and I cover all 48 states if I want to. I only generally work in about 18 to 20 of them, but furthermore, the pay, I didn't get to that, but the pay is different because this way I can work a structure where I'm paid a gross amount for the whole load. It's not just a segment of a certain amount for miles or a certain amount for time, okay? I'm given a base rate for this load, whatever, and from start to finish, as long as I meet the requirements and get the job done and problem solved, you're paid. But you're paid for a gross amount of work rather than a certain segment of it, or time or mileage of that. These Lyft drivers and these Uber drivers, you know, their base salary was on a per mile, similar to us, similar to the drivers. But what happens to them affects what happens to us. Because if the state of California says, you know what, everybody's employee, I don't know how many companies are based out of California, but a lot of them are like, nope, I ain't staying. So I guess that pretty much forced legislators to re-examine it, take another look at it. Well, am I really making the best decision? So I guess that's where this article comes from, and it would pay drivers, whether you're leased or whether you own your own truck, you run your own, whatever. Anybody out there that turns a key on a rig like us, pay attention to this stuff, man, because it will greatly affect you. If, God forbid, the government said, you know what, every truck driver has to be an employee and has to be paid as according to employer. Imagine how many of us would quit. Because you know what, I'm not out here for an hourly check. I'm not out here for a salary. I'm out here for a living. I'm out here to provide for my family. Something to think about. We're going to explore more about this as we go throughout this load. This next short clip says a lot about why AB5 is so important.
Unions are also in support of AB5, especially in certain segments of trucking like the port. And because independent contractors cannot be unionized, the unions have lost most of the workers within the transportation industry.
Well, me, with what I do currently, at least on with Landstar, my current arrangement has me as an independent contractor. Part of the arguments in these many court cases in relation to how to classify workers is whether or not the company that you work for influences you in any way. The only factor that changes how I work right now is the government. So I don't look for that changing anytime soon, but every day's a new day, you never know. As of the making of this video, I have officially completed one more step in the process. I have registered Deviator Trucking as an LLC in the state of Tennessee. Just one step in the process, more to come. Stay tuned. If as an independent contractor, the only way for you to better yourself or make more money is to work faster or harder, and other than that there's no way for you to better yourself, then this court case would then favor you as an employee instead of an independent contractor. Basically because they're determining that the company or entity that you work for is limiting you. And I look at the bigger picture. I look at the bigger picture because if I feel like there's something wrong with the work arrangement where Landstar is concerned, I'll simply do what I'm doing now anyway. I mean, I'm not doing what I'm doing, starting my own company because I'm disgruntled or I feel like I'm held back. I'm doing it because I want to. It's just something I'm doing independent of what my status is. So I look forward to getting that done. But the argument that's currently before the court is favoring independent contractors because in every way they're trying to make it look like independent contractors have got no way to survive. And that's not the case. Independent contractors, more often than not, are owner-operators like us that just choose to sign on with a lease with a single company because it's the easiest thing to do. Maybe we don't want to invest a lot of money. Maybe we don't want to do anything but work for that one company. That's our choice. We should not be told in any way, shape, or form that, because some government entity feels like it's in our best interest, that we have to do things one way or the other. The moment the government comes in and tells me I've got to do things A, B, and C because we're just the government, you just got to listen to us, you know what? I'll look for a different line of work. So pay close attention to all this stuff going on in California, because normally, as a rule, when it happens in California, it filters out to the other 47 states. So you got to really pay attention to this stuff, folks, because without you realizing it, it's like that. Things can change overnight. Countless thousands of millions of customers and independent contractors for Lyft and Uber found that out real quickly. And they're still fighting that good fight. So got to be careful. Meantime, as you drive and as you work, do one thing for yourself. Be happy, stay safe, and make it